What is up? I hope you all are well. Thank you very much for the love on my last YouTube video. I really appreciate it. For whatever reason, I didn't see it going that way, but thanks you. So today I want to start by talking about the word obsessed. You may have heard it, especially if you follow a lot of influencers. Anywho, this is a term that is naturally abused by people who have a number of following on any form of social platform. Naturally, I don't refer to myself as a influencer, and the reason is because I have zero. Nobody listens to me. I have zero influence. For instance, I don't naturally care about hats or red hats or any form of colored hats. Do you get? But for whatever reason, when I send a hat on WhatsApp, it beats, and I never understood why that beats but my account number does not beat. Do you get? So I intentionally made a video about it, and Mark Zuckerberg chose to ignore me because I'm sure he saw that video. More than 3 people have retweeted it, now that I think about it, but nothing was done. So nobody listens to me, so I am not a influencer. But I was like, well, if I'm going to make all of these big changes that are naturally very massive, because like moving out of my parents' house, you know, this is the biggest change I've ever made in my life, and I naturally don't like change. So I was like, why don't I do all the change at once? Let's see if I can be this influencer person. I mean, it's quite simple. You just stay obsessed a lot of times, and you know, you come and say you have really, really exciting news about something that you're not supposed to tell anybody, and then be quite excited about it. That's simple. Anybody could do that. So I started by saying the word obsessed. So how it works with this influencing thing is that you say the word obsessed one too many times about the very, very, very basic stuff. So you go, I am obsessed with how the sand looks today. Did you get this? You know what? I'm not really good with English, so let's search what obsessed means. Obsess, to preoccupy or fill the mind of someone to a troubling extent. So it is quite literally impossible to be obsessed about a number of things at once, and these influencers naturally are majorly obsessed about the sun today. You know, how the sunset looks, how the hike is a little bit too up and not down. They're obsessed with that. They're obsessed with people still breathing. So I began using the word obsessed. That didn't help me very much, because I sooner than later realized that I cannot continue to use the word obsessed because it's very much watered down. So there went my chance of becoming an influencer. So I was basically trying to do all of this to avoid focusing on this big change that's happened in my life, because this big change is something that has, like I said previously, offset my entire head, my body, my system. I am naturally allergic to change. I say this knowing the full strength of the word. Most people don't talk about this because maybe most people are not me, and most people maybe are very adaptive to change. With how my brain works and how I work and how I function, I decided to be in denial for so long. I went out with my friends. So, how does it feel like? You always make me appear on your video when my face is looking. That's not true now. Like I'm suffering. Sharp. I was, trying my best not to think about my current situation. I don't know how to reduce the light. How do you bring it back? Okay. So, how does it feel like to help me, move? How does it feel like? Celebrity-ish. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. I think this denial phase is something that you should be aware of so that you can go into it prepared. I didn't. It took me 2 months until last week that I was finally getting into somewhat of a routine. Now the thing is, when moving to a new place, the reality of the situation is it's going to feel empty. It's not going to feel like you, because it is not yet, but you can make it like you can get all the things that you like. For me, for instance, it's a lot of books, it's a few plans, but I did it a little bit much later. So I'm not saying that you have to make the place yours immediately. Take it bit by bit, but accept that it's going to be a quite difficult phase in your life, because it's going to be helpful to you. So when you come to a space, especially if you're in Nigeria and moving to a place in Nigeria, everything is going to be in disarray. Like literally everything is going to be in disarray, because Nigeria, we naturally thrive on madness and chaos. So basically, I'm in chaos. I woke up, I went out for a job interview, came back and just fell right into my onesie. I don't have a curtain yet. I am using bedspread to just cover it up. Today we are going to get some curtains. That's first. Secondly, I had to tidy up a little bit yesterday. I still haven't had breakfast because I woke up quite late. I have been exhausted. Let me show you the situation that we've got going for us from here. Even though I've cleaned up. Don't even look at the kitchen area. Don't. It is completely normal to see that everything is, but not you. So make it yours. My place, when you come in, it has, even now that I don't have a lot of plants, I have 3 plants, you would see that it is me now. It helps you get into a somewhat of a routine. Breathe. Remember to breathe. One of the biggest misconceptions is that the minute you make that big step and move out, everything is just going to fall into place and you're going to be ultimately happy. That is not true. That is very, very false. Even for the most introverted people in the world, which is me, I literally have to go home and decompress when I hang out with people for a day or two before I'm able to be physically able to hang out with people, because my mind wouldn't be present. So that is how introverted I am. But I was still lonely. It gets really lonely living by yourself, because the thing is, you are used to living with family, where you are used to living with wherever you are, even if it's not with family, with whomever you are living, they're used to living knowing that there are people around you. So now you're living just by yourself and the only person around you is you, and you cannot run away from your thoughts. So if you're around people, what that does is that you can get some form of an escapism. Even subconsciously, you might not know of this, you can get some form of escapism and talk to your sister, talk to your mom, talk to your whomever you speak with, and come back, and subconsciously you've somewhat decompressed, but it's not available anymore, and you have to be comfortable with that option. Your thoughts are going to be very present. Oh my god. You would think about everything, you would critique everything, but I want you to do this. I want you to pick up a note. I've always had my journal, so whatever I did, I would write it. My friend's gotten me, she's gotten me another journal for 2021, has 2021 in it, and she's gotten me an organizer. Of course, I would try and unbox it sometime here if you want to see it. A lot of other things to help my mind. It was the best gift I've gotten all year. So what I want you to do is that write down all the things that you're grateful for. Write down all the things that you've achieved, because putting in the money, putting in the effort, the mental gymnastics that goes into actually moving out is quite difficult. So understand that is something that is good, and know your why. Write down why you actually moved out, why you are pursuing what you're pursuing. That will help you go a long way, my dear. And understand that you are going to get out of all the routine that you are used to. All of it, every single thing that you are used to doing, your life is going to shift upside down. It's going to do sure. So you have to get used to your new life. And how do you get used to your new life? By understanding, by accepting that this is your new life. You have to start afresh. Because of how much turbulence I have been for 3 months, I haven't read a book in 3 months, and books for me are a way of decompressing. Watching stuff are very passive. TV shows are very passive, but reading a book at night when I'm going to go to bed, or reading a book, it's just, I don't know, it somehow fills me up with content, and it relieves my stress very much. But I haven't read a book in 3 months until last week. That I mean, it's mind blowing to me, because I can't remember the last time I went this long without reading any book. So try your best to create new routines. They may not look exactly like the ones that you had before, but try and build them. Try and be happy. What I mean by be happy is that happiness is not a state that you achieve, that you arrive at, but try and find moments of happiness. It could be your plant growing a new branch. I don't know if it's a branch that you call it. English is not my first language. Ted, not even Ted. So a candle. I don't have a candle yet, but I don't know. Candle, because I'm going to get one. A candle scent. Reading a book. Find pleasure in moments. Do you understand? So you could try and be happy. Take care of yourself. Don't focus on only the downside, i.e. bills, i.e. take care of yourself. If you fall sick, I felt sick, by the way, my body was shaking and it was very bad, but I got out of it, alhamdulillah. I understand that when you get sick, that you have to take care of yourself. You have to go to the hospital by yourself. Probably if you're one of those people that never went to the hospital without their moms, this is something that's going to change. Understand that your responsibilities are quite profound, so you have to deal with them without procrastinating too much. You can procrastinate, don't get me wrong, I still procrastinate, but do it bit by bit. Change is not favorable to most of us, but it is majorly necessary a lot of the time. So don't try your best to be in denial for 3 months like I did. Learn from me. I did it so that you don't have to. Because no. Okay. Well, that is all I have to say for right now. I have one more thing. You have to cook in batches. Like if you are going to cook so much that you have leftovers to put in the fridge to eat. You are not going to be able to afford to eat out all the time. I promise you. You are not going to be able to have the mental strength to cook daily. I promise you. You need to eat. I promise you. If not, you will develop ulcer. If you have one, you would provoke an attack. I know. For a fact, I'm speaking from experience. So anyway, these are the few things that I came here to talk about. I just wanted to talk about how, because I think people don't talk about this. They only talk about that, you've moved out, now it's all, rainbows and sunshines and everything is just going to fall in place and you're going to be just fine. Lol. Have a good time. I hope you share this video. And bruh, I hope you come back for the next one. Honestly, I don't care if you subscribe or not. I just hope you come back for the next one, because that is what is mostly important to me. But I also hope that you share this video, and I hope that you learn something from it, and I hope you watch my ads. Well, thank you. Bye, loves.